Every ordered pair, what is the ordered pair? X comma y. When a point is reflected in the x-axis, the sign of its ordinate changes. That's what I told. Even though they have not defined this is A, I am going to mention that one. The point A is 2, 3. Understood? Positive 3 minus 2. X is positive, y is negative. Which quadrant? Second quadrant. Hello dear students, a warm welcome to one and all. My name is Vibha, Mathematics faculty at Vidhyaashram, Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So in this session, we are going to learn the topic called Under Geometry, Co-Ordinate System in a Plane. Okay? And this will be a chapter 15 in your textbook, and in this session will be a session number 1 you are going to have. Then what are the topics you are going to have under this session? Let me look into this. See, you are going to have the introduction part. Who invented this coordinate system in a plane, and then what are the uses we are going to have in this coordinate system in a plane, and then you are going to have the most important rectangle coordinate system, okay, and then you are going to have it as quadrant in a rectangular coordinate. So here we are going to have it as the introduction part, and then you are going to have rectangular coordinate system in a plane, and then the quadrants, and then problems you are going to have. So let me look into this, the introduction part of the coordinate system in a plane. So here, who invented this? This is will come under analytical geometry. See, analytical geometry, or we are going to name that one as coordinate geometry. Okay, so is the branch of mathematics which deals with the study of geometry through algebra. Algebra means what? You are going to have it as the equations you are going to derive, isn't it? So through algebra you are going to have this which deals with the mathematics, and then you are going to have, it was invented by René Descartes in 1596 to 1650, a famous, who is that? French mathematician, and who introduced algebraic methods. So he was the mathematician who introduced the algebra method first, and then to solve what? Geometrical problems. Okay, so and then the entire subject is progressive development of the basic idea is nothing but of a point. That means when a point is given, how we are going to mark that point in a plane. So that point reference was given by this French mathematician who is known as René Descartes. Okay, and then we are going to have Descartes established relationship between, what relationship he established? Basic geometric concept, okay, and then of a point with basic algebraic entity of a number. Suppose if a number is given, how to mark a point? Based on that, he has given an idea, and then this relationship is going to be known as system of coordinates. What is the point? You are going to have it as, what is that? Geometric concept of a point with basic knowledge of the algebraic. We are going to know that one as the system of coordinates. Understood? And then the plane in which the points, we are going to have it as are represented by an ordered pair. You are going to have it as ordered pair x-axis. This is a horizontal line is always going to be known as the x-axis. This is x-axis. Okay, and then vertical line which is perpendicular to the x-axis is going to be known as the y-axis. Okay, so and this, what we are going to name it as, how we are going to write it in the form of mathematics? We are going to write it in the form of an ordered pair. This is very important. Ordered pair is denoted by x comma y. Understood? So of what? Of a real numbers uniquely and conversely. If you are going to write it as point 2, 3, you are going to name that one as ordered pair of the x of x coordinate will be 2 and the y coordinate will be 3. Okay, so and then axis of references. What do you mean by this as axis of references? Every ordered pair, what is the ordered pair? X comma y. Okay, every ordered pair x comma y of real numbers. Real numbers can be anything. It can be a rational, irrational, natural numbers or whole numbers. It can be anything. That is going to be known as all together is going to be known as what? A real number. So here a real number x and y can be represented by a point in a, what is that, plane with reference to two fixed lines is going to be known as the references axis. Two fixed line I have written here. This is called two fixed line. One is horizontal line, another one is vertical line. That is going to be known as what? A reference axis. Okay, this axis we are going to have it as plural form. A singular form is nothing but axis. Plural form is nothing but axis. Since we are going to have it as x-axis and y-axis together, we are going to name it as axis. Understood? So next we are going to, which may mutually perpendicular, as I told you, and x-axis is perpendicular to the y-axis or y-axis is perpendicular to the x-axis. Understood? So here may not be perpendicular or may not be perpendicular. The two lines are perpendicular, then the axes are going to be known as rectangular. Otherwise it is going to be known as what? Oblique. Okay, if the two lines are perpendicular, it is going to be known as what? Rectangular. If the two lines are not perpendicular, any two line, you are going to write it as, if they are not perpendicular, then it is going to be known as oblique. Understood? So next let us move on to how the rectangular coordinate system will be. Now here, draw a two straight line. Here I have taken a two straight line. You can observe here x dash O x. This is what? A horizontal line, and then vertical line is nothing but y dash O 1. Okay, this is a vertical line. I am going to take it as here. See, x dash O x and then y dash O y intersecting each other at right angles. Intersecting each other at right angles. They are perpendicular. Okay. So at the right angles, let O, that is middle point, this O, let O be what? It is going to be known as the origin. Okay. That is the middle point where the x-axis and y-axis meet each other. If they are meeting each other at some point, that point I am going to name it as O. That O is nothing but I am going to name it as here the origin or the point of intersection. See, it is going to be known as the point of intersection. Now, what is this x dash O x is going to be known as? Here, x dash O x is going to be known as x-axis, and then y dash O y is going to be known as y-axis. See, x dash O x is called x-axis, and then y dash O is going to be known as the y-axis. And then what is this O? O is going to be known as origin. Understood? So we'll be moving on to the next point. The two mutually perpendicular. What is this? This mutually, this vertical line and this horizontal line. Two mutually perpendicular lines taken together are going to be known as rectangular axis or the coordinate axis or axis of the coordinate. What it is known as? It is either known as rectangular axis or coordinate axis, or you are going to name it as axis of the coordinate. What is the axis of the coordinate? Which is x-axis and then y-axis. Understood? Axis, plural form. So here I am going to take it as let P be the point. See, I am going to take let P be any point on the plane. Either you can take here or here or here. Anywhere you can take the point P. Here I am going to take particularly in this. Okay, in this, what is that? A quadrant. I am going to explain you what do you mean by that quadrant. Okay, so in particular this quadrant I am going to take it as let P be the point. Okay, and then I am going to draw perpendicular from P to the x-axis. Perpendicular means what? I am going to drop a line. Okay, that's what. See, I let P be the point in the plane. Through P, draw PM. Draw PM either parallel to x-axis. This line you can see here. This line is parallel to what? It is parallel to y-axis. This is y-axis. Otherwise, it is perpendicular like this it is. This is perpendicular to x-axis, or it is parallel to, this is perpendicular means here you can observe. This is perpendicular to x-axis, or it is parallel to y-axis. Isn't it? That's what I have taken here, which is a parallel to what? The y-axis. I am going to take it as, okay? And cutting the x-axis at M. In where it is cutting the point? It is cutting the point at the x-axis, okay? And then I am going to take it as and draw PN parallel to the x-axis, cutting the y-axis at N. See, you are going to have draw PN, this line, draw PN, this line, which is parallel to x-axis and perpendicular to y-axis, okay, like this it is, the line. This is perpendicular, okay, perpendicular which axis it is the y-axis. You are going to have it as, understood? So, x-axis cutting the y-axis at the point, where point I have taken it as, this is the end point. This is a parallel to the y-axis. I am going to take one point which is marked on the x-axis line, and parallel to the x-axis I am going to take it as the point N, or perpendicular to y-axis. That point I am going to mark it as N point. Okay, and then what is this going to be known as, ma'am? Here we are going to take it as then OM is called the x coordinate. What is that OM? Here we are going to this OM. So this OM specially we are going to name it as x coordinate. X coordinate. Or sometime we are going to know this one as abscissa. Or we are going to name this one as abscissa. Okay, see here, we are going to name this one as abscissa. X coordinate or the abscissa, and of the point B denoted by what? X. Denoted by the letter X, and you are going to have it as MP is called, what is that MP? Let us know here. See, MP means this one. This MP, this is going to be known as, this MP, this is going to be known as Y coordinate. Y coordinate. Or simply we are going to know this one as, ordinate. Once again I'll repeat, X coordinate is going to be known as abscissa, which is nothing but this line OM, and Y coordinate is going to be known as ordinate. Okay, that is this line you are going to have it as ordinate. Understood? So we'll be moving on to the next point, what we can refer in the diagram. Then the point P is completely determined by the ordered pair of what? This is how we are going to get ordered pair. The XYP, this diagram, it is going to be have the ordered pair of X and then Y. Here the ordered pair of X and Y, you are going to have it as C, ordered pairs of X and Y of what? Of real numbers. It can be any number there. See, this ordered pair X comma Y is the coordinate of the point P, and this is written as what? How? P of X comma Y. This is very important. How we are going to write that ordered pair? A point of X comma Y. That is P of X comma Y, where X and Y belongs to where? The real numbers. Okay. We'll move on to the next. The above system, that means the diagram of a coordinating an ordered pair with every point in a plane is going to be known as what? Rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. That system is going to, with every point, what we are going to mark it as, that we are going to name altogether as what? Rectangular Cartesian coordinate system. Come to know how the introduction takes part here. Then how we are going to arrive as what? The heading of what? Rectangular coordinate system in a plane. So next, the coordinates of origin is taken as what? 0 of 0, 0. That means the point here, what we are referring, this point. This point we are going to take it as what? 0, 0. O of 0, 0. Okay? And then we are going to have it as, see, any point on the x-axis is going to be taken as x, 0. Why x, 0? Only point on the x-axis I am taking. If only point on the x-axis means y coordinate will be automatically 0. So any point on x-axis is going to be taken as x, 0, since for any point on the x-axis the y coordinate is what? 0. Okay. Similarly, if I am going to take it as any point on the y-axis, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, any point on the y-axis here, any point on the y-axis, if I am going to take it as, then x coordinate automatically it will be 0. Okay, it will be 0. So that we are going to write it as 0, y. Okay, and since for what? Since the x coordinate will be a 0. What I told, x coordinate is also known as abscissa, right? So the abscissa of any point is numerically equal to the distance of the point from the y-axis. What is that distance of the point from the y-axis? For example, here I am going to take it as, see, this is what the x coordinate, this is what the y coordinate. If I am going to take it as x ordinate is 3, 3 means here, correct? Here I am going to take it as 3. It is distance from where? It is distance from what you are going to take it as x-axis. See, that's what. The abscissa of any point is numerically equal to the distance of the point from the y-axis. From the point of the y-axis, how much it is distance having? It is having the distance of 3 units. Correct? Whatever the point you are going to take it as, the x-axis, it will be having a such distance will be a y-axis. This is a y-axis parallel to. So this distance you are going to have it as 3 units. Okay? Or if you come to this side, this distance you are going to have it as, for example, minus 3 units. If I am going to take that one as a minus 3 point. Okay, so here, and then any point is numerically equal to the distance of a point from the x-axis. Okay, any point distance will be equal to the x-axis you are going to take it as. Next will be 2. We are going to have it as 2 mutually perpendicular. Now let us come to the point of this. You understood what is that? If you are having the x coordinate, this is the x-axis will be having a distance under the y. If you are having the y, it will be having a distance of x. Suppose if I am going to take it as, see, if I am going to take this one as, this is a x and this is a y, and then I am going to take it as y ordinate will be equal to 3. This is 3. How much distance is having from the x-axis? 3 units. Here, see, 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. From the x-axis, it is having what? From the x-axis, it is having 3 unit distance. This is what? The parallel to the x-axis. Parallel to x-axis means it is having distance of what here? This is having distance of 3 units along the y-axis. Understood? That means you are going to have parallel to the x-axis. Understood? This is what I am going to convince you by the graphical method. Okay, this is a point. Please understand, here x coordinate, this is a 3 point. It is the distance of y unit. This is 3 units. And if I am going to take y point, it has distance of x coordinate will be distance of how much? It is having 3 units. If you calculate from the x-axis, it is 3 units. Here, if you calculate from the y, it will be 3 units. Understood? So this is how of the point we are going to refer it as like this. The abscissa of any point is numerically equal to the distance of the point from the y-axis. The abscissa of this is distance of the point from the y-axis. Similarly, of any point is numerically equal to, that is my y-axis, and the distance will be equal to what? The x-axis. From the x, how many distance you are having till y? That is equal to the y-axis. Okay. So next we'll be moving on to the quadrant. This is very, very important. Quadrants are nothing but here I have taken x dash o x, which is the x-axis, and then y o y dash is nothing but the y-axis. Then what do you mean by the quadrant, ma'am? Here you are going to have totally 4 quadrants. Ma'am, how we are going to identify that 4 quadrants? See here, this o x y is nothing but first quadrant. First quadrant, okay? first quadrant. Okay, this is OX. See, OX over here. We are going to define it. See, the XOY. See, like this. XOY. This is going to be known as XOY. Is going to be known as what? A first quadrant. Understood? Similarly, you are going to have YOX dash here. This one. YOX dash. This is going to be known as second quadrant. Second quadrant. And then similarly this Y dash OX dash is going to be known as third quadrant. Third quadrant. And then remaining is Y dash OX or XOY dash is going to be known as fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant. So here I have the X dash OY dash is the third quadrant, this one, and the region Y dash OX is going to be known as the fourth quadrant. Okay. And yes, students, here we are going to have it as x1 point, y1 point. What will be the x point and what will be the y point? Here, both x point, x comma y, both the point x comma y will be positive. Okay. Okay, because right hand side of 0 you are going to write always positive. Above 0 you are going to write always positive. That means right hand side of the origin is positive numbers. Above the origin is positive numbers. And then below the origin is negative numbers. Left hand side of origin is negative numbers. So here you are going to get only positive, like 1, 2, 3, like that. Here you are going to get again positive 1, 2, 3, etc. like that. Okay. And then here you are going to get negative -1, that is -2. This is a point I am marking here. And then -3 you are going to get. Similarly here, that is -1, -2, -3, etc. So you are going to get right hand side of 0 and above 0 you are going to have it as what? Sorry, not 0, it is the origin. Right hand side of origin and above origin is always what? A positive points. Similarly, below origin and left hand side of origin will be always negative points you are going to have it as. So therefore, this is going to be known as OX is going to be known as the X coordinate, and OY is nothing but the Y coordinate, which is the vertical line and the horizontal line. So XY will be positive, and in the second quadrant, X coordinate will be X comma Y coordinate. See, in the second quadrant you are going to have X coordinate will be negative and the Y coordinate will be positive. Okay. And then similarly in the third quadrant, X and Y, X coordinate will be negative and the Y coordinate also will be negative. Okay. So similarly in the fourth quadrant, X coordinate will be positive. You can see here X coordinate is positive and then Y coordinate is negative. Okay. Please observe, dear students, here you have to observe what are all the quadrants and how we are going to have the ordered pace signs, whether it is a positive or negative. Okay. So here I have taken a table. In the first quadrant both are a positive, and in the second quadrant what? The X is negative and Y is positive, and the third quadrant both X and Y are negative, and third quadrant and the fourth quadrant X is, what is that? We are going to have it as a positive and Y is negative. So X is positive and then Y is negative. Okay, understood? So we'll be moving on to the next is nothing but what? The reflection of the points when it is given. Reflection or image of a point with respect to what? The x-axis and then y-axis. Here, to find the image of the point A of 1, 2. Where A of 1, 2 will lie? 1 means what? X. And 2 means what? Y. Where the point will lie? Here you can mark. See, X will be, this is a 1.2 point. X will be is equal to 1 and Y will be, this is 1. Okay. And 2. This Y will be is equal to 2. So 1, 2 where you are getting here. So A of 1, 2 you are going to have it as, so this is a point A of 1, 2 I can have in the rectangular Cartesian plane. So, and then in the x-axis, produce AM. See, produce AM is, this is a line I am going to produce AM. This line, dotted line, you can observe here, AM, and then to A dash such that MA dash is equal to 2 units. To A dash means how many units you are having here distance. The same you should measure here distance. Okay. That means the producing the same distance to the below axis. That means a reflection. Reflection means mirror image you are going to have. Here you are going to have it as, see, this reflection will be here. This reflection will be here. This reflection will be here. This reflection will be here, like that. Okay. So here you are going to have produce to MA, which is having the same number of distance. But what is here the y coordinate? Y coordinate is what? Negative, isn't it? Y coordinate is negative. So 2 will become what? Minus 2. 1 will be as it is 1 only, because we are going to have x coordinate is positive. Understood? That is the reflection you are going to have. Similarly, if I produce same 1, 2 to the left hand side of the y-axis. What is the left? This is the y-axis. Left hand side of the y-axis, right hand side of the y-axis. Above x-axis, below x-axis. Understood? So left hand side of the y-axis means this one. What is the left hand side you are having? You are going to have produce what? Here x will be negative, y will be positive. So x1 will become minus 1 and 2 will become 2 as it is. Because depending on the quadrant, x is what in the second quadrant? X is negative and the y is positive. So x will be what here? A negative and y is positive. Understood? This is a image we are going to have it. Similarly, you can produce the image for here also. This image, suppose if I am going to draw the line here, what is this image you are going to have it as? You are going to have this image will be a C point. I am going to C dash. Okay, if I am going to take it as here, the another letter I can bring it one as here T. Okay, produce from T to C dash, what it will become? The same unit, minus 1 here, as it is you are going to have minus of minus 1, correct? See, minus of minus 1, what is minus of minus 1? Will be is equal to plus 1. So minus of minus 1 will become 1 and then 2 will become minus 2. This is what you are going to have under that, what? The quadrant. Okay. So next will be, depending on the point you are going to write it as. So next will be moving on to what? When a point is reflected in the x-axis, the sign of its ordinate changes. That's what I told. When it reflected, the sign will be changing. Okay, as like we have done it here. Okay, next we'll be moving on to see reflection of a point in the origin. What happens in the origin? What it will reflect? See, when a point P of x comma y is reflected in the origin, the signs of its abscissa and the ordinate both changes. Suppose if you are having, see, minus 2 comma minus 1, in the origin reflection of origin will be plus 2 and plus 1. Okay, you are going to have it as that reflection signs will change. Suppose if you are having 2 and minus 1, reflection of origin will be is equals to minus 2 plus 1. Okay, only the signs of the ordinate will changes. That's it. Okay, so now they have asked you to problems. What is that? Mark the points 2, 3, minus 3, 2, minus 3, minus 2 in the rectangular coordinate system. Now I am going to take a line as like, not Charlie, I am going to take it as here. I am going to mark a point here as like, see, this is a y coordinates, that is y dash o y, and then x dash o x. Okay, here I have taken a line. They have asked you to mark these number. What is a 2, 3 plus 2 plus 3? Where plus 2 plus 3 will come? In the first quadrant. And then minus 3 plus 2. Where is minus x plus y? Second quadrant. And this minus 3 minus 2, third quadrant. Just they have asked you to mark those points. Here I am going to take this distance. This is 1, 2, 3, and then here I am going to take it as 1, 2, 3, and then here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, because it will not go beyond minus 3. So I am marking till there only. So this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So what you are going to have it as now? They have asked you to mark the point 2, 3. X will be 2, y will be 3 here. right? Y will be 3, this one. So this I am going to mark it as A of 2, 3. Dear students, when you are marking a point, give a name of that point. Here I have taken, even though they have not defined this is A, I am going to mention that one. The point A is 2, 3. Understood? So similarly, you are going to take it as minus 3, 2. Where is minus 3? Minus 3 is on the x-axis. So this is minus 3, 2. 2 means in the y-axis. This is 2. See, distance is 2. This is what B of, I am going to take it as minus 3, 2. Correct? Similarly, what they have asked? Minus 3, minus 2. Where it will lie? It will lie in the third quadrant. Third quadrant is minus 3 here and minus 2 is here. So this point here minus 2. So this is a point you are going to have. This is C of minus 3, minus 2. Is that so easy, dear students? That's it. Marking a points in the rectangular coordinate system that is what is that? In a plane. Okay. So next we are going to have it as plot the points 2, 3. Let me write the x-axis and then y-axis. Okay. So you are going to have it as here origin 0 and then here 1 till where 4 it will go. Y-axis 4, 5, x-axis only till 3. 1, 2, 3. That is enough. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here minus 1. Where y-axis negative? Minus 4. Minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Be careful, arrow mark. This is y, o, y dash, x, o, x dash. O is there. That 0 I am marking here. This is O point. Okay, this is 0. This is 0. You can take that one as 0. Got? So here you are going to have it as what? 2, 3. 2, 3 where? Positive 2, positive 3. First quadrant. So positive 2, positive 3. This is a point. So A of 2, 3. Okay? And then you are going to have it as 3, minus 4. Where 3, 3. X is positive, Y is negative. Where X is positive, Y is negative? In the fourth quadrant, correct? X is positive, Y is negative. 3, minus 4. Here 3, minus 4. This is a minus 4. So this is a B point of, what is that? 3, minus 4. Similarly, you are going to have it as, you are going to have, next is 0, 5. X-axis is 0, Y-axis is 5. Where it will come? This is 0. X-axis is 0, Y-axis is 5. This is a point. So this is a point 0, 5 of C. Got? A, B, C. And then last they have given what? Minus 1, 4. Where minus 1 means it is a x coordinate. 4 means y coordinate. Where it will be? X is negative, y is positive in the second quadrant. Correct? So x is negative. This is what I have not marked here. Let me mark minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So you are going to have it as minus 1 is what? Here and then 4, that means here minus 1 and 4. This is a point. So D of a point minus 1, 4. That's it. Is that so easier, dear students, to mark the points? Right. Okay, let me move on to the next question. Find in which quadrant the following points lies. So this is a point 9, 8. What is 9? Positive. Correct? So 9 is positive. X coordinate is X coordinate. Let me write it here. X coordinate is positive, positive. Y coordinate, Y coordinate, Y coordinate is also positive. Which quadrant it will lie? Positive, positive will be in which quadrant? First quadrant, isn't it? So this will lie in the first quadrant. Or you can write it as like this, or first quadrant, both also same. And then you are going to have 3, minus 2. X is abscissa, correct? Abscissa, abscissa, or both also have written X coordinate or abscissa. Abscissa is what? 3, and then ordinate is minus 2, right? Positive 3 minus 2, x is positive, y is negative. Which quadrant? Second quadrant. So this will lie in second quadrant. Okay? And or you can write it as second quadrant. Both also same. Now what this minus 4 comma minus 5, both x and y are negative. Both x and y, which quadrant? Third quadrant, correct? So therefore this I am going to write it here. X is positive, y is positive, x comma y. And then x is negative, y is positive, x comma y. X is negative, y is negative, x comma y. And then here x is positive, y is negative. So this lies in where? Third quadrant. Or third quadrant. Okay, understood? Any doubt in this do you have? Okay, any doubt in this do you have? Okay, we'll move on to the next. What are all the distance of the following points from the coordinate axis? Distance of the following point. What is the distance you are going to have? X coordinate is 3 and y is 4. So therefore let me draw it here. See dear students, I am going to take it as here. This is x and this is y. Correct? So here, and this is what? 0 here. And then this is 1, 2, 3. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? So here I am going to take x-axis is 3. 3 means here. Correct? And then you are going to have y-axis is 4. So here you are going to have x-axis is 3, y-axis is 4 means here the point. So draw a perpendicular. What is that? From x-axis to the point to the x-axis. How much point you are going to have? 1, 2, 3, 4. If you are going to draw to the x-axis distance from the x-axis, how much distance you are going to have it as? From the axis, see? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is from here till here, you are going to have it as 4 units. So this is what called distance from x-axis. Correct? And then draw the line. What is that? Y-axis. Y-axis is 4. Correct? 4 units here. So here you are going to have it as 4 units. So how much distance you are going to have it here? See? 1, 2, 3. Correct? So therefore you are going to have this distance is nothing but 3 units. 3 units from which axis? From y-axis. From y-axis. Okay? From y-axis. Understood? So therefore distances from the x-axis is 4 units. Distances from the y-axis is 3 units. That's the answer for this question. Next, 8 comma minus 7. What is 8 comma minus 7 means? You are going to have it as distances from the x-axis will be. So let me write down that here. What I am going to take it as? See, I am going to mark a point. So this is what you are going to have it as x-axis. Correct? And this is what the y-axis. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then here you are going to have it as, because 8 comma minus 7. Where 8 comma minus 7 lie? In fourth quadrant. X is positive, y is negative. Okay, so this will become minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7, right? So therefore you are going to have it as distance. It is what? X coordinate is 8 and y is minus 7. Here I am going to mark. Y is minus 7. So from the x coordinate, what is the distance? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units you are going to have, and distance always it will be positive, not negative. Distance will be measured as positive. Even though it is negative minus sign, when you are counting the measuring the distance, always it will be a positive. So it will be till here. How many units you are going to have it as? From here till here. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. So distance from x-axis is 7 units. Okay. Similarly, you are going to have it as distance from y-axis. So this is a distance from y-axis. See, you have to count this one. This is what I am going to draw the point. This is what I am having. What is that? 8, minus 7. Correct? Distance is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From the y-axis, it is distance. So y-axis, from y-axis, distance is 8 units. That is the answer. Ulta, you are going to have, what is that? 7, 8. Distance from the x-axis 7 units. Distance from the y-axis is 8 units. Be careful, even though it is minus 7, don't take it as minus 7 units. It is not minus 7 units, it is plus 7 units, because we are calculating what? Distances. Understood? So next, minus 6, minus 6. What it will be? However you go, it will be 6 units only, right? Let me mark the point. What it will be? You are going to have it as, see, this is the x-axis, this is a y-axis. So you are going to have it as here minus 1, because both lie in where? The third quadrant. So both are negative. This is 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. So here, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. Correct? This is a point. Minus 6, minus 6. So distances from the x-axis you are going to have. Distances from the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 units from the x-axis. 6 units from x-axis. And then you are going to have, see this one, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 units from y-axis. 6 units from y-axis. Okay, so the answer will be equal to 6, 6. Okay, 6 units from x-axis, 6 units from y-axis. Any doubt in this? Is that so easy by diagram? Okay, so and the next will be moving on to find the coordinate of the reflection of the point. Reflection of the point means this reflection. Okay, 2, 4. Suppose if you are having here, this is a diagram I am writing, and here 2, 4 means 4 units will go. See, this is 1, this is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 4 means you are going to have it as 2, 4. 2, 4. Correct? This reflection they are asking. 2, 4. Reflection of x-axis and then the y-axis. X-axis means below. Y-axis means left-hand side. Correct? Because it is in the right-hand side. So 2, 4 means here it will reflect. This is what? Produce a line here. Again, same units. What is that? Here, minus 1, minus 2. So, producing same distance. This will become what? Minus 2, and here having 4 only. Okay. This is a reflection of the y-axis. And then, reflection of the point. You are going to have 2, 4. 2 as it is, it will remain. What it will be here? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Right? You are going to have. Therefore, this is a reflection here, 4 units. So, what it will become? 2, minus 4. This is a reflection of x-axis and this is a reflection of y-axis. Understood? Similarly, you are going to have it as what? Minus 3, 5. What is that? Minus 3, 5 you are going to have it as. So, here I am going to take it as here. This is a y-axis, x-axis. Here I am going to take a point 1, 0, this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and then minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Similarly here, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Here, 1, 2, 3. That's it. Yes, and 5. 4, 5. So here 4, 5. Respect to the y-axis and the x-axis. Where it will come? Minus 3, 5. X is negative, y is positive. X is negative, y is positive. Here you are going to have it as this is minus 3, 5. This reflection, it will go here. This will come minus 4, minus 5. So what it will come here? This reflection here. Mark the point. Produce the line. How many units? How many units you have to produce? A y coordinate. Same units. Minus 5, isn't it? So till here it will come. Both it will be what here? Minus 3. Correct? Minus 5. Right? Minus 3, minus 5. Similarly, you are going to have it as a reflection of the x coordinate. That side. So you are going to have it is here. What it will become? This minus 3, minus 5 means you are going to have it as, here 3 will become what? Minus 3 as it is, you are going to write it as, correct? Here minus 3, minus 5, let me write that one. Here you are going to have 5 will be what? The x coordinate. 5 and then 3 units you are going to have it as y, right? So next you will be moving on to what? Minus 3, 5. So minus 3 means you are going to have it is here 5 it will become and the 3 units you are going to. Otherwise if you are having here minus 5 it will come. Minus 3 as it is and here 5 as it is because reflection will change, correct? Here marking as straight we are going to take it as x-axis will become what? That is a 5 units from the, what is that? Y-axis will become 5 units and x-axis will be what? A 3. 3 you can take it as here. Sorry, this will be 3, 5. Sorry. This will be what? 3, 5. Correct? 3 here till here. 3, 5. Because both are positive only. Got? This is how reflection will work. Okay? So I think you understood this session. So thank you dear students. In the next session we'll be moving on to what? The very important section formula and then distance formula. First we'll be moving on to the distance formula. Based on that we'll be solving the problems. Thank you dear students.